Aston Villa 4, Southampton 0. Aston Villa get their first home league win in the Premier League after 3 months, and they dish 4 past a very good Southampton side up until today. And overall, a really, really good win for Aston Villa. 3 points on the board, 2 points now behind Southampton. I believe we're now on the same amount of points as Crystal Palace on 33. And overall, just a really good performance. Coming into this game, we're playing against a really good Southampton team. Got a great win against West Ham in the FA Cup 3-1. I believe it was like 10 unbeaten or something coming into it. And Villa ultimately today put them to the sword. The quality from Southampton just really wasn't there. And I think ultimately the team put a real shift in, really had their heads switched on, and ultimately were able to seek out not only 3 points, but 4 goals as well. It could have been 7, could have been 8, could have been another 9-0 for Southampton. But overall, it's 4 goals, it's 3 points. It's a great victory for Aston Villa. Let's go through it then. Firstly, team news came out. No Konza, no Digne, both COVID-related issues, which was a bit worrying to see. Obviously, Chambers then and Ashley Young having to come back in. But apart from that, it was the same team kept again from last week at Brighton. And then Villa straight away after 10 minutes, Ollie Watkins gets a goal. A lovely pass played in from Coutinho to Ings. Ings finds Watkins. Nice little turn, quick little touch. Bang, straight into the top corner. 1-0 Villa. Watkins with another goal. 2-2 now. He's starting to find that magic yet again. And then Villa for the next few minutes, although we're a bit in control, a little bit sloppy at times in possession. The likes of Jacob Ramsey McGinn just really not finding their passes connecting or not really keeping a hold of the ball. Ultimately, Villa are just able to surely protect their goal from being exposed to Southampton, not really giving away too many chances. And ultimately, Southampton weren't really applying much in that first half. However, passes or shots going wide, goals going completely over the post, or not really imposing much of a threat onto Aston Villa's back line. We then get to half time, and the biggest surprise of them all, Douglas Luiz scores a goal, his first goal since January 2020 against Norwich, I believe. A lovely, lovely pass from Chambers on the outside of his boots, able to find Coutinho. Coutinho's just got to pass it back into Doug Luiz from literally yards out. He's tapped in, and it's 2-0 at half time. Great mood. Gets them straight into that second half. There are no changes. But Villa comes straight out of the gates again with who scored? Philip Coutinho. Again, another goal for him. Running the show throughout that whole 60 minutes. Absolutely a different gravy. In the same way as my dad said, the same gravy every other week. But he gets his goal from a really good bit of work from him. And you think it's 3-0 now. The game's pretty much dead and buried. But what goes and happens literally 2 or 3 minutes later, Danny Ings gets that goal, his 4th goal against Southampton. Obviously doesn't celebrate it, but you're thinking, what's going on? Aston Villa scored for him. 4 for Aston Villa. As I said, could have been 7 or 8 though. Coutinho in the first half had 2 open chances. Watkins had a chance as well. There was a great save from Forster, probably the best player today for Southampton. But Villa ultimately gets that 4th goal. And I know there was the odd chance here and there, potentially for Villa, but ultimately it didn't really come as much. The game had been pretty much killed off in those last 60 minutes. And then Southampton were applying a bit of pressure in the last 20 towards the last 85 minutes, but ultimately the game had been kicked out of them after 4-0. They weren't really doing much else. Shots from Stu Armstrong just going completely wide. And ultimately Villa see it out. Nice to see Sanson, Wendia and Leon Bailey come on. Villa shore it out for a 4-0 win. And it's just really nice to see. I know people coming into this game thinking, might not get a win, might get a draw. Warpath can score about loads of free kicks. I was coming into it with a 2-1 win, and Villa ultimately put them to the sword today. And considering the next games that we have got, we've got Leeds away, West Ham, Arsenal. We're going to start going to a tough patch. 6 points now against the Brighton, getting revenge on Southampton for that 1-0 defeat away from home. Getting that win again back at home for the first time in 3 months. Ludicrous, but ultimately, goals for Watkins, goals for Ings, Coutinho again, and Douglas Luiz popping up for the first time. Really doing something I've never seen from him today. Really being pushing forward, taking shots as well, scoring a goal. If that's what he's potentially able to do for Villa in this team. Let's get him pushing forward more. Let's get him involved more in our attack, and let's see him going forward more. Because it was really good to see. Defensively, I think we were solid. Chambers at times looked a bit shaky in that first half with the ball. Didn't really feel me as much confidence, but I think overall he grew into the game, and actually he's potentially one of my man of the matches, just because the way he reads the game, the way he sees the passes going into, or the way he's just able to get himself into that position, ready to clear out the ball, make that defensive tackle. Just on point in the end. It looked like a really good, for 2 million, starting to look potentially like a good option. Can't judge yet though. I thought Mings was fine, if anything, really quiet, didn't really have much to do on his side of things. I thought Young looked alright as well. Cash looked really well, putting Carl Walker-Peters and Perrault, I believe he was, in their place. Midfield though, Jacob Ramsey had an absolute nightmare touches wise. I would have brought on Santo much earlier for him, or maybe even Timmy Wegman, can't say his name. McGinn again, still just, it just felt like a forgotten passenger in that team today, sadly. There was some odd times here and there, but ultimately, for me, it summarised it in that first 5 minutes. He gets the ball when right on the attack and goes the complete other way, right into his man and loses the ball there, which is frustrating. I think Ings, though, does us a massive shout out. 2 assists as well. 1 goal, massive contribution from him. That's going to really fire up his confidence against the team that ultimately came away from. Watkins as well, another goal of confidence for him as well. But I think it's got to be Coutinho, really. The man is a different gravy. I'd still wait to the end of the season to make a decision, but from what we're seeing, from what we saw at Man U, Leeds, Everton, if we can buy him, he would genuinely could really help us, really build that spine for the team and really give us some creativity outlets going from that midfield. Overall, we did our job. We got the 3 points, got 4 goals, another clean sheet for Emi. I thought he did as well. Some really nice saves from him to keep us in the game. But I think overall it was just a team performance today that really stood up, really showed some character, and ultimately got the win in a game that was going to be tough. But if anything, we may look really easy today. So that has been my instant match reaction. Leave in the comments down below who your man of the match was and what you made of today's performance. We move on to Leeds away next week, I believe. That's going to be not necessarily a tough game because of the way they're performing right now, but since it's away from home, Ellen Road's always a bubbly place. We got a 1-0 win away there last season. Let's see if Villa can keep this good little bit of form going. So that's been me. We'll see you next time up the Villa with the Pride of Villa. Get in there, boys.